be all as Anne. Although her real name was Daisy, but most of you do know her as Anne. But my name is Sasha. I'm very honoured and privileged to be here today conducting the service. Today is a day of mixed emotions for you. We feel the weight of loss, but we also have the gift of remembering someone who brought so much life, laughter, and meaning to each of your lives. As we do come together in this space today, let us focus on celebrating those beautiful moments that you were all blessed to share with Anne. Anne was a person who always brought warmth into every room that she entered, and today is no different at all. Anne has left a legacy of memories for each of you, that each of you will carry in your hearts. These memories, they're treasures, they're gifts of her kindness, her humour, her love, and the way she made each of you feel. So as we do reflect today, let us share their stories, laugh about the joyful times you spent together, take comfort in the moments of love and connection that you were all privileged to experience with Anne. Because it's through these memories that she lives on, continuing to maybe inspire you, comfort you, and remind you of the beauty of a life well lived and the love that she shared through her lifetime. Our marriages, births, and deaths, they're all very familiar facets of life. They bring individual needs and demands that ultimately have to be faced and overcome. And many of these challenges that we experience, however, they pale in significance when having to cope with the devastating loss of those that we love most. So it is with a heavy heart that we do come together today to mourn the considerable loss of Anne. Very sadly, passed away on the 1st of January following prolonged illness. Anne, she was an exceptional and very special lady, who was quite simply the queen of her family. She had a great strength of character and a loving, kind and caring disposition, and loved her family without any reservation, and she would always go above and beyond to ensure their happiness and well-being. She was a sociable lady who enjoyed spending time with friends, but most especially, she loved the company of her family. She always relished any time spent with them, and always had a youthful spirit. She had a keen sense of humour and a fun-loving aspect to her character. She was also loyal and protective of those that she loved. She was generous to a fault. She would part with her last penny to help someone else. There was nothing false about Anne. She was truly a lovely person who had real character. She could be rather feisty, I've been told on occasion, but always in a nice way, and she would never stand any nonsense from anyone. Anne was a thoughtful lady who invariably, she remembered birthdays, anniversaries and other significant and important days. She was a proud person who took great care of her appearance. She was very glamorous, always looked $1 million, but she carried her years well. So today at her service, we aim to honour Anne's memory, commemorate her life journey, and pay a sincere and noble tribute to the amazing lady she was and will forever remain. Now you'll notice that we've lit some candles here today. As their lights shine, I'd like you all to be reminded of the light that Anne brought to each of your lives and the world. Now, as I mentioned, of course we do want to go to mourn our lost mum, but also to give thanks for her life. We all come together from different places, and we're all at different stages of our own lives, and our paths are varied, and we look at life in different ways. But there's one thing that you all have in common, that at one point or another, and to some degree or another, your lives have been touched by having Anne in your life. Now, death is painful, most of those that are left behind, but seashells remind us that every passing life leaves something beautiful behind. Remember that the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched, but felt in the heart. Anne's family and friends will never alter. She will always be part of your lives, as you were part of hers. And when you lose someone as precious as Anne, it's easy to feel as though their light has dimmed, as though the world has shifted, leaving behind a shadow of the life that you once knew. But Anne's love, her kindness, her vibrant spirit, they're far too powerful to ever be overshadowed. Don't make the mistake of living in sadness or shrinking your world to honour her absence. Anne wouldn't want that. If anything, you owe it to her to live even more vividly, to embrace life with the kind of boldness and energy that she put into every moment. Love is the most powerful energy that we possess. And when the person you poured so much love into is no longer here, you are left with a vessel brimming with that love, boundless, unstoppable, searching for a place to go. Harness it, use it, let it fuel you to burn more brightly, live more loudly than ever before. Share that love, the love that you felt for Anne, with all the special people still in your lives. Love is infinite, and there is no end to it. There never should be. Carry Anne with you in all that you do. Use her love, her warmth, and her memory as your guides, your strength, and your source of light. That's what Anne would want. For you to laugh, for you to live, and for you to all chase your dreams, and to hold each other close with her in each of your hearts. Speak her name often. Tell her stories. Feel the depth of her love and share it freely. For that love didn't end in her passing. It lives on in each of you. Rick, in you, in your children, in your friends, your family, all of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Let not the pain of the loss overshadow the beauty, the life that she lived, and the love she created. Make her count in every choice, every act, kindness in every moment of joy. Grief is the price that we pay for love. But love, Anne's love, will always live. I believe that funeral service is never long enough time to relate all of somebody's life or the impact that they had on people that they met through their lifetimes. We don't have to be celebrities, famous, and loved by all of the world. Because if we're loved by just one person, we've made a huge impact in our lives. You're here today because I made an impact in your lives in some way. So before we do hear some personal tributes, I'd like to touch on the essence of Anne. And I do hope that you do all share your memories with each other after the service today. But Anne was a genuine Cockney. She was born in the East End of London, within the sound of the bow bells of St Mary, the Bow Church, on Monday, the 21st of December, 1942. She was born to her parents, Mary and Colin. She came from a loving, close-knit family background. She was one of 6 children, and she was raised alongside her fellow siblings, Teddy, Mary, Sue, Jan, and Lynn. Sadly, Sue and Jan have also since passed away and are deeply missed. But Teddy recalls, he said that Anne used to say to him, "Do you want to sleep with me tonight?" And he would say, send him on ahead to bed, she would. Late when Anne got in, she'd pick him out, fidgeting. And in reality, the reason she'd sent Teddy was to warm up the bed so that it'd be nice and toasty for her to get into. And Mari, they used to have caravan holidays together, and they had taken trips to various locations over the years. Anne was close to all her siblings. She looked after them. She was akin to a second mum to them. Whenever any of them visited, she'd always lay on a good spread for them. Anne spent her childhood and formative years growing up in the East End of London, and she was educated at local schools in the area. Now, one of Anne's aunts had emigrated to Canada, and there was a full-page spread in one of the newspapers, and after 50 years away, she was reunited with her family again. Now, Anne, she met her future husband Rick 50 years ago, when he was working for the British Relay in the 1970s. He was covering for a colleague, Glenn, and he arrived at Anne's house to repair a fault. They started chatting about country and western music and the roll-up pub. Now, Rick replaced the valve with another one, which was a little bit dodgy, in hope that the system would break down again so that he could return and see Anne once more. Sure enough, his disastrous plan came to fruition, and the rest, as they say, is history. One day led to many more, and Rick and Anne, they were married at Sidcup Registry Office on Monday the 2nd of September 1974. They were well suited to each other. They went on to have a very happy and successful marriage, and they shared many wonderful years together. They took so many photos on their wedding day, but none of them were able to be developed. But when they were first married, Anne and Rick, they moved to Thamesmead. Then later they moved to another property in the area prior to relocating to Plumstead 48 years ago, where they remained. Anne and Rick, they embraced parenthood with the welcome arrival of their children, Tina, Pat, and the twins, Danny and Nikki. And Anne, she was a very caring mum. She loved her children unconditionally. She was always very proud of them. And come what may, she'd always been relied upon to provide support and encouragement whenever it was needed. Now, when Anne had been admitted to hospital to have twins, an urgent decision was made to go ahead with a C-section. This situation, it was potentially so great that police arrived in the early hours at the family home to take Rick to the hospital. He rushed to the bedroom hurriedly, got dressed, and when he arrived at the hospital to be with Anne, he needed to go to the toilet. He found that in haste, he unwittingly, he put Anne's red knickers on by mistake. He and Anne have laughed about this so many times over the years. Anne was always a very hard-working lady. She was a conscientious person who had a varied career. When she first left school, she worked in a market, and then from there she went to Woolworths. Later she was employed as a dressmaker, where she modelled the dresses too. And also became a telephonist, where she earned the nickname of Duchess because she wore white gloves. But additionally, she had also been a florist. She worked for an engineering company, at the matchbox factory, and in a hospital. And at some point she also had Anita's video cabinet, which I know many people remember. But she had many jobs over time. And with the progression of time, Anne and Rick became grandparents, the births of Gary, Kelly, Lee, Harry, Terry, Harry, Gemma, Sid, Ryan, Reese, Bailey, Harvey, and Billy. Quite a tribe. But she welcomed the arrival of their great grandchildren. Harley, Drew, Alex, Paulie, Shani, Jensen, Izzy, Mimi, Freya, Phoebe, Jessie, Bonnie, Molly, Bo, Carter, Uy, Winnie. Angel and Adele are now in spirit, and Anne will be with them to look after them and keep them safe. There is also Bessie, who hasn't been born yet, but expected to arrive soon. Now, throughout her life, Anne made numerous friends. So you can see here today, there's too many of you to mention by name today, but you were all important to her. Two of her closest friends are long-standing, who are here today, were Pauline and Chris. Anne and Chris have been to school together, and so their shared memories have been generated over a number of years. Now, Christmas was always a favourite time of year for Anne and her family. There are many very happy and fond memories of great time spent with the family and friends over the years. She also loved karaoke. She'd often sing, "What do you want to make those eyes at me for?" She enjoyed country and western music and line dancing, and Anne and Rick, they would go all over the country to various venues. Once they were in Scotland. Anne entered a beauty contest. She made it to the final round, where they asked all the contestants a series of questions, and each of them they were asked who they would take on a romantic holiday. Each person had said their husband. When it came to Anne, she replied, "Chris Christopherson." She couldn't think of a name. You can imagine Rick, he was the butt of all the jokes that night, and had won the glamorous grand competition 4 times, and rightly so. She was a beautiful lady. Anne was a vital lady, who was always young at heart. She was full of fun. On one occasion, she went on the bouncy castle, I was told, when she was at Perry's, to show the kids how it was done and what to do. Apparently she bounced right up in the air and landed in the bushes with her legs a kimbo. But Anne was such an exceptional and truly lovely lady. That shone through her family when I met with them. She had many fine qualities and an abundance of gifts. She stood out from the crowd for all the right reasons, and her passing is especially poignant and profound. But I do feel certain that Anne will forever be deeply loved and sorely missed, not only by her loving and devoted family, but also by her friends and those that she held dear. So we will now hear some personal tributes, and I'd like to warmly invite Gemma and Sydney up to share their stories together.
East End traditions, showing us about banana sandwiches and the spag bowl with baked beans in. But most importantly, for looking after us, for showing us nothing but pure love, and for always being there. We were truly blessed to have you as the queen of our family. When you came home, my broken heart was at rest for a moment. You looked so beautiful and peaceful, just as if you was having a little sleep. In life and in death, you still looked as glamorous as you always did. Your iconic green eyeshadow, and let's not forget the Lindy, the 16-hour wear you could tell me every time I saw you putting your makeup on. Granddad played all of your songs. We went through photo albums and found pictures of you some of us hadn't seen before. We laughed, we cried, we sang, we danced, and we raised a glass to you. It's still hard to process you're no longer here with us. For a moment I forget and I go to ring you, and it hits me that I won't hear your voice on the other end of the phone, and it breaks me all over again. I never thought how different life would be without you, because I've always pictured you in it. My dad, our strongest warrior, the one who I believe was invincible. I take great honour in being able to do your makeup in your house one last time. Mummy's on your hair. You sang all your songs to you while I was doing it, and all I can picture is you singing and dancing alongside us. Amongst all the memories I have of you already, I'll hold that one close in my heart. I could easily talk about how amazing you are for the rest of my life. I just wish you were still with us, keep it. As I stand here today and look at everyone who has came to see you with their back dirty, I can see how loved you are. You had a big part in everyone's life, but your passing has left a big hole in everyone's hearts. I promise you we will look after the granddad and look after each other as we try to navigate the rest of this life without you. I had 9,646 days of loving you, man. Spent forever missing you. I love you so much, feel you.
suppose every one of you, when thinking of Anne, will have a well-remembered mental image that springs to mind. And the beauty of those memories, they're always there. They're like pennies in your pocket. You take those with you anywhere. So we will now take the next few moments, take a look at a video with you to Anne. Please watch the screen with the lights dim. Thank you. Emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity. It's the price we pay for love. The only cure for grief is to grieve. I'd like to read you all a poem that I've written for Anne today. And I've titled it Anne, the Queen of Poetry. Beneath the bow bells in East London's embrace, the proud cotton yells full of spirit and grace. Born 106, on tightly spun, her journey began with laughter and fun. She found her soulmate, her partner, her Rick, a love so enduring, so perfect, so quick. Together they built a life full of cheer, through every joy, through every tear. A mother to Tina, Pat, Danny and Nick, her love for her children was steadfast and thick. 13 grandchildren, 19 great-grandkids too, one on the way. Her legacy grows in all that they do. Anne was young at heart, with a spark in her eye, a lover of Christmas where magic would lie. With a song on karaoke, she lit up the night, a glamorous woman, a dazzling light. Feisty and strong, with a heart full of gold. Generous, loyal, protective, bold. She cared with a passion she loved with no end. To her family and friends, she was queen to defend. She wore her pride like a crown on her head, a matriarch's wisdom in every word said. Her family was her kingdom, her joy, her delight. She ruled with her love, her warmth and her light. Now dearly missed, but never apart. Her memory lives on in each loving heart. And our queen, our guiding star, forever with us, no matter how far. Now it does come to the point in the service where we will pray and we will give thanks for Anne's life and say a final farewell blessing before we do go to graveside and lay her to a final resting place. So can I ask, if you are able, would you all please stand? Father in heaven, we thank you because you made us in your own image and you gave us gifts in mind, body and spirit. We thank you now for Anne and what she meant to each of us and the gift that she was to each of our lives as we honour her memory. Amen. As we think of our continuing journey in this life, we promise never to forget you, Anne. Those that love you will honour your memory by living our lives as you would want them to. I take the joy and pleasure that you had in life and share it freely with others. We give thanks for Anne's life, all the good years that you were fortunate to share with her, and the individual ways that you will each remember her by. When you miss her and you're feeling sad, may you find strength from those good times you shared, so that you can carry on as she would want you all to. And she lived her life here with us all, enriching the lives around her. She made this world a better place, and she will be remembered always with love and peace. And on behalf of Rick, your children, all of your family and friends, I'd like to thank you for all you brought into this world. Thank you for your love and laughter, and most importantly, thank you for being you. You leave this world a richer place than you found it, and with great respect, we bid you a final farewell. Continue your journey, and the love of everyone here and those who cannot be here today. Be reunited with family and friends gone before you, who will live on in the hearts of everyone you touched and nurtured while you was alive on this earth. And you left loving, lasting memories of your time with us all. May you be shining brightly where you are now, as you did while you were here with us. And may you rest. Please do take a seat. And we will now take the next few moments of reflection time as we listen to the song.
supposed to do this. Alright? Kelly.
Kelly gives
Yeah, that's right.
you've got her own filming.
Oh, fine. That's how it is. That's how it is. Aye. That's all right.
We didn't get one in books.
Can't give you honestly. Aye. Get the code on.
I'll do it.
Simon. That's all right.
Just get him up.
Whose phone? Is that your mum's phone, Gal?
No, that's Nikki's.
Oh, Nick's. Just Kelly give it to me to do the coffee and
Oh, you done it, yeah?
Yeah.